This is a story of Dave and Sharon finally living their dreams of sailing to the Caribbean and beyond. Join us while we share our adventures from getting the boat ready and embarking on our cruising life. Rocky Dundas is an ancient hidden cave system in the Exuma Land and Sea Park. You can only get there by swimming under a partially submerged ledge. Not a whole lot is known about it, but it's a popular spot to pose with your arms raised in the sunlight filtering through the opening in the top as if you're absorbing the energy into your body. I decided to copy Kelly's modeling moves. I guess I'll leave that to the pros. Rachel's bubble bath is a natural pool of water that's separated from the ocean by a ridge of rocks. As the tide rises, the waves come crashing over the outcropping, creating bubbles and sea foam in the pool. It's like getting a massage underwater. To get there, you need to walk a distance from the shore, but it's worth it. The aquarium in O'Brien's Cay is a gorgeous spot of water that makes you feel as if you're in a fish tank. There's a wide diversity of aquatic life that you can enjoy while snorkeling or scuba diving.
A couple days ago, we found out that there's a tropical depression, a hurricane that hit Mexico, and then it's crossing as tropical depression. It may come over southern Florida. Well, that's going to affect us down here. We're at Trout right now, and we're kind of open to the west, which is where the winds are going to come, and could be anywhere from 26, 30, even 40, 45 knots. We can handle the wind, but the wind and the waves together is going to be kind of rough. So we're going to head back down to Bell Island where they had the mooring balls. Hopefully we can find one open. And it's still, let me see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's still 3 to 4 days off. So we should be able to motor back down. I've done changed the oil in the engine, fixed the radiator cap, the coolant cap, and we'll see if we can keep the temperature down on the motor, because we won't be doing any sailing today. We're right into the wind. Well, not much wind anyway. So we're prepping to go, and we're gonna get her started. Yeah. So far, so good. And that's the other problem I have, is the alternator doesn't come right on. You gotta rev it a couple. There it goes. Now the alternator's on. Okay, so we got about halfway down to Bell, and all of a sudden, hot temperature again. And so it looked like the oil pressure keeps going down, and then the heat goes up. So anyway, we stopped, pulled off the track a little, stopped and anchored. Figured I'd cool down a little, and went down and took the oil cap off the engine, and then put it back on again lightly. And we decided to go back to Shroud, so we took the mainsail out to go back. But in doing that, I had to have the motor on to pull the anchor out and get the sail set. And when I came back, I noticed that it was running at the correct temperature again. So I'm suspecting that I'm getting some blow-by on maybe the valve stems or something, and it's pressurizing the inside of the motor. And when it gets up to pressure enough, then it inhibits the oil pump from circulating the oil. So what I'm going to do right now is I left the cap on loose, but every hour or so I'll go down and take it off, relieve the pressure, and we'll see. And in the meantime, we decided to turn around and head back down to Bell Island. I'm just more comfortable with that anchorage with this tropical storm effects. We're going to be out of it, but we'll be on the outskirts. And you know, the wind, predict wind is saying 25, 26 knots from the west. And there's not much protection on this side of these islands from the west winds and the waves. So we go down to Bell, so you got to go out into the ocean, go up and come around, and it's a protected anchorage with some moorings there. We're going to try to grab a mooring ball and put a double line on that, and we'll still get the wind, but we won't have the waves. We can deal with wind as long as we don't have the waves as well. So right now we're motoring back down there, and then we'll be down there about 4 days. It's Thursday now. Sunday's supposed to be the worst of the wind and stuff, and then wind and rain, and then we'll come Monday, if it's nice enough, we'll start sailing back up, see if we can get out of here.
Sitting here outside of the entrance to the cut to Bell Island, waiting for the motor to cool down. It's overcast, no wind. Here is the anchorage that we'll ride out the strong winds with. and get the alternator fixed enough to work. Lazy day after cleaning the bottom. She's hot and tired, stretched out. She's relaxing in the hammock. And there's a storm approaching and we really don't know what we're going to be doing. So we will just see.
And here we are back at in the Bell Island region. Same mooring field. We were, I don't know, we were on one of these over here. But we came to the end one because we're behind this island and we're supposed to get the wind coming in from that way. That would block a little more of the wind. That's our dog beach over there. Haven't put the dinghy in yet. Maybe tomorrow. This will be about three days before storm winds get here. We're not really gonna get rain too. Maybe.
Over there behind this rock at Bell Island waiting out the storm, and then the storm was pretty much ending, the wind, and then we got all that rain that came through this morning. We had to wait. After the storm passed, we motor sailed back up to Staniel Cay and then on to Shroud Cay.
We went up to Highbourne, and somewhere in there it was overheating again. So I've done a whole bunch to the engine. I managed to tighten up the drive belt that goes around the water pump. I tried to fix the alternator, and I didn't have a spare for that. I have two alternators. One charges the house bank. That one was working, but I had a spare, a new one, so I put that one on. The other alternator is reverse mount for the Perkins one, so I did not have a spare. So what was happening is after starting the engine, the tach wouldn't go on, and it wasn't pumping out any 12 volt or 14 volt. But I would rev the engine a couple times and it would kick in. So I took that apart and cleaned it all up, put it back together, and of course now it doesn't work at all. Once I removed that belt, there was no problem at all. I haven't been overheating whatsoever. So we've been running. I don't have a tach because the alternator is not running. And so this trip here is, one of our trips, we were getting the boat a little more and a little more into up to date and running well. The other thing is, I think I'm getting a little blow by from either the valve stem seals, or the rings, or the cylinder rings. So when we get back, or probably when we go up the coast to Annapolis, Maryland area, I'm going to see if I can get a really good mechanic to come down and run some diagnostics on the engine. And we're going to try to we might have to have a rebuilt, or get a rebuilt one. We went from Highborn to New Providence. We just call it Nassau West. And that was the first leg of trip where we had no overheating. I could run the boat at whatever RPMs, no overheating. So we made it in good time. We were doing about 6.3 knots with some motor sailing going on, and then been down to about 5.7. This morning we're going from Nassau West. We're heading for Chubb. That's where we signed in. We don't have to sign out there, but we have to stop there anyway, so.
Coming on. Ouch.
Watch your head.
That boom there.
Kelly encountered some sea lice while cooling off at Chubb Cay before we headed back to the States.
The water's burning me.
These are the larvae of thimble-sized jellyfish, and they pack a powerful sting, especially if you're sensitive. Her skin was burning, and she ended up with a rash that lasted several weeks. At least it was at the end of the trip. Because of the storm delay, we didn't stop at any of the other islands on the way back except for overnight anchorage.
Okay. You good puppy.
Have a video going.
Alright, so we stayed just out on the banks, kind of north of, a little bit north of Bimini, and it wasn't too bad, a little choppy, but it was okay. This morning we got up and we've left the Bahamas, we're out of them, and so we're heading up to Fort Pierce. Right now we have some pretty fair seas, they're following, not very much wind, so I'm kind of just doing the mizzen and the mainsail out. Really not enough wind for me to go and deal with putting a whisker pole out, or I don't think there's really enough for flying the spinnaker right now, so we will see. If it kicks up just a little bit more, we might do either one of those, go a little faster, but we're doing around 6 knots, 6.2. We're probably starting to get into the Gulf Stream now, because I notice little by little we're starting to speed up. So we got to Fort Pierce a little early. It was still dark, and it's not a hard cut to get through. but I decided that we'll wait until it gets light. So we cruised back down our course for about an hour and then back again. Gave it a little time for the sun to come up so I can come in sunlight. And I'm glad I did. Not so much because it's like I said, it's an easy harbor to get into, but this is our... Oh, hi Sharon. This is our anchorage. So we've got boats right here. We got the beach. Where is it? Right on the other side of us is the channel. So you got to stay out of the channel. There's more boats up this way. Beach along here, which is starting to get crowded because it's Sunday. And we kind of had to go in on this side because of the depth. You can anchor on the other side of the channel, all over here. This guy got one of the only deep ones over there. But you can anchor there, and then somebody in over there. Those are all shallow, too shallow for us, so we had to get in and make sure we don't swing out in that channel. And then this morning we left heading for Cape Canaveral, and we have absolutely no wind and flat seas. And I said we'll go back to Cape Canaveral and we'll do some repairs on the boat. Hopefully we're there only a week, but I'm gonna tell them we want 1 to 2 weeks, and then we're gonna head north. Big dolphin. Big spotted dolphin. Look at that. Look at that. A little bit of motor sailing here. My big old Johnny.
We want to say thank you to all of our viewers who have subscribed and commented. We appreciate your support and feedback. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps us build our channel up so we can keep bringing you more videos.